All right, shut that off for a minute. So, let me get set up here. Just let me get set up. How are we gonna do this? Probably should have done this before I turned on the camera. Oh, that's not gonna work. Practice editing now, I guess. What I'm trying to do is get in a good spot here, which I can't seem to. Spot. Alright, if I stand here, okay, so for moving forward, this is probably not the best angle. Camera needs to be over here, but this is the free space I have right now, so this is what we're working with. Good morning, everybody. So here's what's going on. We've been in here for half a year now, and I think we have a handle on things. I didn't do the filming the way I wanted. We're trying to stay active on social media as much as we can. It's been tough to just kind of roll with the punches and all the things that came with this, and it's busy. It's fun. The staff are great. We all kind of have our groove now, and so we're kind of getting comfortable and getting ready to kind of take it to the next level and hopefully kind of step up our game another notch and just kind of keep learning. And so I'm going to start back at my Patreon, because I feel I want to feel accountable to myself for the project that I started in the first place. And that's what I'm doing today. So let's see. Oh, let's talk about this too. I'm having a Sour Grapes City Seltzer this morning. I absolutely love these seltzers. I know they're not packed full of flavor. That's because it's just seltzer water. There's no sugar. So it's really hard to carry flavors without sugars and stuff, syrups, things like that. But the sour grape flavor in this is nice. And they're always, subtle and refreshing. And I'm really happy that we have a good Ontario cider company. Seltzer company, sorry. So yeah, we've had these guys since day one in the shop. Sour Grapes is a new one for me. It's really nice. So yeah, that's a seltzer drop. So what are we doing today? I was gonna see if I can point. Okay, sweet potatoes for a marshmallow fritter we're gonna attempt. We've got some squash for the old fashioned this month, and we've got some onions, tomatoes, garlic to get roasted off to make a tomato soup this morning. And then I've got to go and batch another 2 rounds of dough. So I guess I'm just going to get into this and talk as I go and be uncomfortable. So I don't know why I started with these. Don't start with those. Get the big guys out of the way. So you may hear awkward pauses and noises and stuff. It's just me trying not to chop off my fingers. Usually I'm okay at it, but Smells great. Chop the ends off. There we go. These are always good. And I probably should talk a little more. So I'm just trying to figure out the next steps for this business and us, and to be quite honest, we need to generate as much income as we can now that I've seen cash flows, and you know, we kind of have a really awesome we have a really awesome client base that our customers come regularly. They're friendly, they're helping share and post on social media. There's always going to be the odd bad review, which is something I've struggled with kind of since day one. I don't take criticism very well, and that's something I'm working on. So we just respond as best and kindly as we can, and I have to accept that I'm not for everyone, and that's okay too. So we've just been making donuts in here and trying to be fresh and fun and trying to be consistent. We've had illness and people down and out and away on vacation, and we've had to manage 3 people's worth of work alone. We've had to shut down. We've had to. It's been a ride, and the costs have just been going up and up and up. The last couple of weeks, they've been kind of settling down a little bit, which has been super helpful. There's been a sugar shortage, so I've been struggling to get a solid supply line on sugar and powdered sugar, and Costco seems to be the best, except they were out for 9 weeks. So we're just getting sugar regularly or reliably from Costco again. I'm just ranting about all the things that are going through my head, but I think that's what we're doing here. So, flour. I haven't been able to get larger than a 5 kilo bag of my flour. And last week I was excited because we thought we had found 20 kilo bags of the flour just under a different headline, but I guess it's from the same plant or something. And it ended up being okay to work with, but Wednesday I found that it just didn't feel like I was making my donuts, and then I festered on that, and then on Thursday I was angry that the donuts were coming out the way they were because of this flour. So I've now gone back out and bought as many 5 kilo bags as I could. My issue there is the price fluctuates so much that, when I can get it for $8.99, $9.99 a bag, amazing. But it's been going $12.99, $13.99, $14.99, and I haven't been able to get, you get 2 bags here and 7 bags here, and I could order it from one spot. Independent was bringing it in for me, but at $12.99 a bag, and I can't afford the price jumps. Like, I know it's only $3 a bag, but it's significant when we're looking at our costs long term. So it's just, I was hoping that if we can get 5 to 20 kilos, the bigger the bag of flour, the cheaper the flour is. So I was hoping to be able to find a 20 kilo bag of my Robin Hood flour. I just haven't been able to find it. So we've tried food suppliers and no one seems to be able to get it. And Robin Hood's very easy brand, so I actually emailed them yesterday because we use this too. I think I've talked about this before. I don't know if I have or not. This Robin Hood, they make 3 or 4. They've got a coconut one. If you like coconut, they have an almond one. Neither of which we can use in here because we're a nut-free kitchen, and almond and coconut are on that list. But this one is just their all-purpose flour blend. And we were using PC when we opened for about 3 weeks. And then I tried this again because a few years ago I tried it and it was awful. And now I don't know what they've done to it, but it is the best one-for-one that I've found that doesn't cost, $30 for this much. So these are usually about $8 or $9 a bag just for this amount. So it's not cheap, but nothing is for gluten-free. So this is what we use for our crullers, and we'd like to bake more with it. Again, I asked them if we can get larger bags yesterday. So I'm just going to go straight to Robinhood and hope that someone actually is going to be willing to talk to me. Okay, back to this. I didn't get a spoon. Let me unclip my microphone here. Be right back. Oh, sorry. Probably should check to make sure I'm recording. Yes, I am. Could you imagine if I just ranted to myself? I am ranting to myself, but without the microphone going. So, anyways, new subject. This microphone. I picked up this plug-in microphone, and I was like, do I really need to, At first, I didn't want to do all this extra stuff, production-y stuff. And I know a microphone's a simple thing. It's just like another thing to manage. So I just didn't know if I wanted to do that. But I want to make a bit of a YouTube channel tie-in and kind of document all of this stuff that I'm doing. I do find it therapeutic, and for me, that's kind of everything. So if I can find some joy in it, then I'm going to actually give it a shot. So I bought a mic because I was putting my hand over my phone when I was walking around the shop, and my stuff was coming out all muffled. So this way, I get to have maybe a better sound. I don't know. It's still my voice coming out of it, so it's not going to be something I'm going to want to listen to, but I'm doing my best. Got a couple lights. I got a green screen at home. And by green screen, I mean a piece of green fabric that I can put behind me. And my goal is to learn to do a little bit of video editing. And my daughters have encouraged me to do it because they know how and they can help me. So Lil's teaching me to do transitions, and Sadie is showing me clips and how to use iMovie, and she's 6 and a half. Lil is 10, and they have better tech skills than I do. So anyways, I'm just finding it hard to talk and focus on scooping seeds out of these squash. But yeah, I'm just trying to get better production and editing, and just try to put out as best a quality product as I can, donuts and content. So yeah, so I'm just trying to be better, where everybody just needs to try a little harder. Everything's been going really well for me. This has been the biggest thing I've ever taken on in my life. It's been challenging and hard. That's the same thing. And just expensive and rewarding. And I've met some amazing people already, and I've only been open for 6 months. So I'm just excited that I'm going to be able to continue to do this. That being said, everything is so expensive that we do need to kind of step up our game to generate as much income as we can coming through here. Because, I've got 2 baristas and 3 kitchen staff, 4 kitchen staff, 3 baristas. So it's just, costs money to make money, I guess. But we need to make some. So right now it's just everything goes to bills and pay. And I haven't paid myself since we opened, which is fine. This is me doing the thing I want to do, so I don't need to be paid to do it. But one day I would love to be able to actually not just pay bills. So we are going to add as much as we can in and manage as much as we can to see if we can kind of step our game up and have a little more of a, thing going on. A little more donut shop stuff. So we have our donuts, we have our drink menus, and we just participated in Mac and Cheese Month, and we made a macaroni and cheese donut, which was fun. So we're actually going to keep that on the menu and add in things like kind of an all-day breakfasty kind of thing. But yeah, today we're going to do, I think we're going to do latkes and breakfast sandwiches. And so we'd have latkes and eggs and bacon, maybe like a Western sandwich, maybe some waffles if you want some donut toppings, because we have, chocolate and pastry cream and all the stuff. We are looking into buying an ice cream machine so we can do soft serve ice cream sandwiches and do some in-house soft serve stuff. So do like a apple spice one month, or do a French vanilla, and then do a cappuccino one, or I don't know. But like 2 bays in an ice cream machine, I could do one, purple ube to match my colors, and then have that always, and then have a ice cream of the month circulating, and then you can twist them together. So anyways, that's like a $4,000 machine, but on the list. So just all these like level up things we're doing. We're putting soups, so we'll have a roasted tomato soup every day as an in-house thing until it's sold out that day, and then we'll just roast off more the next day. And we like it, and so far everyone's enjoyed it, and it's getting cool out, so why not grab a bowl of soup and a coffee instead if you don't want to, have a donut or whatever. So yeah, anyways, this is me making a genuine attempt to be successful at this donut shop. And if that means I have to make soup and a bagel and some bacon and eggs, I wanted a diner my entire life. And so I'm kind of I'm right there. I can't believe I'm doing it still. I'm sober for one of the first times, balanced with it on and off after I left my job. But now that I'm doing something I enjoy, it's nice. It's great. When I worked in my previous career, it was rewarding, but challenging, and it burnt me out, and I've dealing with PTSD, and I have anxiety stuff, and I was drinking a lot through my 20s, and for the 15 years I did the cleanup, I pretty much drank the whole time. So leaving that job, I've been out of it for 2 years now, and that first year, it took me quite a few months to, I would be sober for 8 weeks, and then I'd drink for a weekend, but then that would turn into a few weeks, and I was like, I don't want to do that. So I stop again, and I played that bouncing game. And then once I started to chase this, and I saw what this was going to take to build and run, I knew I had no choice. So I've been sober since, and that's been really good. So we're just going to stay doing that, and seeing kind of outside looking back at how self-medicating you know, every time you go through trauma and stress, you go home and, you know, have a couple of drinks, settle down, go to bed, wake up, do it again the next day. And I was just re-traumatizing myself over and over and over and over and over and over again. So, I mean, I get that. I knew it's hard, and it's not the only job. Every job's tough. I get it. This I love, and it's donuts, and there's happy people, and I'm enjoying the conversations. And if you want to yell at me about a donut, it is what it is. So it's been really good. And I just wanted to make sure that I take the time to document it and appreciate it and dive into the community as best as I can and show what we can do and learn and share it and just be in it. So, and actually one of the another plug here, so I'm sure everyone knows. If they don't, they will, but Ryan Sickler is my favorite comic. And I follow Ryan on Patreon, and I follow Josh Potter on Patreon. Both two of they're top two. They're top two comics that I listen to. They do podcasts, both of them on the Patreon. I listen to them every week. They are my rock for getting through my life. So my wife and kids excluded there, obviously, but when I'm working and listening to podcasts, that's what I'm listening to. But I've found this one called Taste Buds, and it's Sal Vulcano and Joe DeRosa and Chris Stefano, or however you say his name. A couple of those comics, and I'm really enjoying them. And Joe DeRosa owns a sandwich shop in New York, and he does podcasting from his restaurant. And so watching all of these people do their platforms, on how they're doing their platforms, how they present their Patreon, how they tie it to their YouTube, how they release their videos, how they do their production, what they talk about. I'm not a famous comic, obviously. I'm not a comic. But I'm trying to replicate what I'm seeing them do, I guess, because I think it will bring value to my brand. And it will allow me to engage in a way with my community and following base, even if that is only 6 people at the current moment. But I'm going to use it all and start releasing it on a YouTube channel so I can reach a greater audience with the content that I already have, as rough as it may be. And then we are going to try to step up the quality and editing and all that stuff as we go and see what we get. So, just gotta watch my fingers. I think probably that's too big. That's too big. Oh no, is there 2 of those? Shit. There we go. We don't want these too big. Maybe like that, I guess. So maybe a little smaller. And these are going to get kind of cooked down in butter and maple syrup. And maybe a bit of salt. And then they go on a roasting sheet and get a bit of color put on them. And then they will get put in fritters. And then those fritters will have marshmallow fluff piped on top of them. We're doing like a sweet potato pie kind of American Thanksgiving style kind of thing. Shit. Not a great cut on that one. So one thing I do need to kind of practice here is just all of these skills that I have as a home cook but need to improve on as someone who's trying to be in the food industry. So oof. Make sure there's nothing too perfect. So I won't get to try this one because I'm gluten intolerant, so I don't get to eat my donuts. But I've been thinking about this one for a long time, and in my head it works, but in reality I'm not sure if it does or not, so we will have to see. Put myself on the edge of that knife. So I'm keeping everything sharp in here the best I can. Keeping my fingers away. I've got a nice knife shop down the street run by a guy named Chris, who I really like, and he's going to be doing some knife skills stuff in here with us. We're going to talk about food stuff. Yeah, it's just been really neat being downtown and around all these businesses. For me personally, one thing I do struggle with is kind of public and people. So I am doing my best to do stuff like this and dive into, I'm friendly, I'm trying to be nice, I appreciate everybody. I just find it hard to social. So we are working on it. And I'm trying to put myself out there and show kind of what I'm about. And then people at least can see me and kind of what I'm passionate about and what I'm chasing, and hopefully get what I'm trying to do. And if enough people get it, then maybe I get to stay here for a long time. And really at the end of the day, that's all I want. So just to be a business owner in my community, making people happy with donuts and coffee is and always was the goal. And the other day I had an old guy reading a newspaper, drinking a coffee, and I said once I had that I would be happy. So here we are. Got to practice that pinch grip. When there's a lot to cut, it's not too bad, but when I get real close, it's I just want to keep my fingers. So cut myself a few times really badly in here, and every single time I've done it, it hasn't been with a knife, which sucks. It's always like the edge of a fryer pan, or like you grab something and go to clean it and it slices through your hand, and we've had a couple doozies in here. Another fun thing to get used to was the burns. I don't feel anything in my fingertips anymore. I thought that would have not been the case so quickly, but yeah, I don't like those. I burnt them all off on hot donuts. So now that the flat tops are going to be fired up and the oven's running and we're used to burning ourselves on the regular hot stuff, we have two new things we're playing with that allow us to burn ourselves on new things. So Allie's had a really good one. Taylor's had a really good one. I've had a few. I don't think Bree's burnt herself yet. I had a steam burn off the wand of the espresso machine a couple weeks ago. And let me tell you, that's a different style of pain I could have done without. So it's hazardous back here. The other thing that I told myself I would do, excuse me, I'm just going to grab another tray here. The other thing I said I would do, and I hope that this rambling isn't completely nonsense and there's nobody listening at this point, so I don't need to worry about it, but I just want to be okay with me. Hello, future me. I just want to be okay with the fact that I'm putting something out that makes any kind of sense. So, excuse me. Have a drink here. I'm just going to move this. So then this will go over to the oven and it's going to get just some oil put on it. They'll get flipped upside down and roasted, and this will go in after it gets cooked down with butter and brown sugar. And then we're going to do the soup breakdown. Actually, you know what? I'll come back and do the soup tray because I need to get a dough on. So I will end that video here because it is all over the place and probably 20 minutes long at this point. Something I realized when I was getting back into this is that I never did, that you will obviously, if you're still listening to this point, you'll know this by now, is have a script. So I'm not going to write a script, more of like an outline of here's the things to focus on in this video, and here's kind of what we're looking to do. And then when I try to edit, it should be a little smoother. I'll know what I'm talking about. I should know where the subjects are. And I've seen in some YouTube videos that they put like, hey, this part of the video is about me talking about donuts, and this part's me talking about this, and whatever else. And I find those markers useful. Oh, those onions, fuck. So, sorry, I can't see those onions. Even just doing that was spicy. Wow. All right, so can you see this? There you go. That's kind of what I'm thinking for the fritters. And butter maple syrup, boil it down a bit, bake it off a bit, see what we get. So yeah, anyways, that's what I'm going to start doing. I will come back and do a quick tomato soup breakdown, throw it on the sheet trays, and then we'll roast them off and see what we get. Cool. All right, talk to everybody soon. Thank you for supporting if you're watching this video, because that was a long haul.